Tonight, I am pleased to be joined with John Jacobs of Healthier Living for You. We're going to talk about his showcase product, which is the Hyperbath Detoxification System. There's a lot of different questions that people have about, just ways to start feeling better, ridding ourselves of toxicity. But there's some common top questions like anything. So tonight we're going to ask John the top 3 hyperbath questions. But before we get to that portion, I just want to say hello to John and, welcome you and thank you for spending some time tonight. Who is John of Healthier Living for You?
Thanks, Deb, and thanks for us getting on here tonight. And I just want to welcome you folks and introduce myself as, I'm an auto mechanic by trade, and we got into this business when my wife was really sick. So what do you do when a loved one or yourself or family member is struggling with poor health? So that's how we got started and have gotten into business, designed and developed and manufacture what I believe is one of the most powerful detox systems on the planet. And we'll just answer some questions here tonight of what it's all about and
what it is and how it works essentially. And one thing that's resonating with me when you're talking is the word system. It's not a thing. I'm a big believer any one thing is never everything. And, if we were all dealing with the same problems to be fixed, wouldn't it be an easier path to success? So, like many of the things that I talk about in my alternative therapies, it's a system, a process. And it's very important tonight, with some of the questions that I'm asking John, that there's a reason he outlines doing things a certain way. And a lot of it is not only coming from a place of, step A and B, but John's been doing this a really, really long time. He's got probably more experience than anyone I've run into in I hate to admit, over a decade that I've been playing with his product. And I come from a place of experience with my expertise as well. And a lot of times in today's world, not everyone has a diagnosis. You don't necessarily know what you're dealing with. So I think it's important that you have a resource like John that you can lean on from an experience perspective, because in a lot of times when I've had questions in the past, he's been there before. And that's the biggest advantage outside of your product. Yeah, maybe being a little pluggy here, but I liked having someone early on because I didn't have the experience that I could go to with those questions that had experience firsthand and wasn't pulling it out of a book, if you know what I mean. So first of all, the Hyperbath. We know that it's a bath, and if you looked at John's site, you might have had some visuals. But tell me, John, how exactly does this simple treatment work?
Well, it's very simple, Deb. It's simply filling the bath with water, putting your feet in the water, and turning it on, setting it all up, and during this session, through the process of electrolysis, there's huge concentrations of hydrogen ions that are circulated into the foot bath's water. And when you put your feet in the bath water, remember it's the water in the bath is at a very, very high concentration of these hydrogen molecules. And your body is at a very low concentration. So you're just like a big sponge. You're absorbing all these hydrogen molecules. And this process is called osmosis. Ions going from a high to a low concentration. And these charged ions are almost like a supercharged antioxidant. And they seek out free radicals to help prevent the cell tissue damage and that can lead to all of our illnesses and diseases.
For sure.
See, our bodies are naturally produce hydrogen peroxide, and as we age, not as much is produced. But this this foot bath creates the hydrogen molecules to elevate the hydrogen peroxide in our bodies, meaning more oxygen into every cell and tissue in every organ in our body. And this process has been shown to promote a deep cell detoxification. It increases the cell's hydration, and it strengthens our immune system. So it's very, very powerful.
And it kind of makes sense. You know, traditionally, I think we live in a society where if, you know, we're low on iron, or we're low on vitamin C, or when we're low on something, we reach for the pill bottle. So really kind of what this is it's giving, I wouldn't call it a nutrient, I wouldn't call it a mineral, but it's a base element that your body needs to perform its function. And this is another very powerful, non-invasive way to kind of restore that. Why does the water throughout the course of this treatment change color?
Yeah, and that's a big question that we really are challenged with that all the time. And you know, the color or the texture of the bath water during a session are not the toxins just coming out of the feet. There's an ongoing chemical reaction between the minerals in the water and the array itself. Therefore, would happen whether you have feet in the water or not. And we disclose that on every marketing that we do to get people realizing it's not just the color. And that is why we always say that the 30-minute session in the foot bath, it's really a small part of the treatment. It's the next 24 to 72 hours that is working through the processes that pushes toxins, you know, out through all the organs, through the kidneys, the bowel movements, the sweat, the skin, and all the cells and tissues of our body. And it is also so important to keep hydrated, to keep continually flushing our bodies. And, you know, that's partly the reason we recommend doing sessions every second or third day.
Okay.
When you're doing a series of sessions as a part of a seasonal, or if you're doing a deeper cleansing cycle.
Okay.
But experienced long-term users and many of our service partners swear there's still something to the reaction you can see happening. Some Chinese medicine charts show a correlation between the colors, revealing potential areas of concern within the body, and there's often an uncanny association. Okay. And the colors and textures vary even when using the same water to fill the bath. And if we have people in baths beside one another, there's always, sometimes there's a really offensive smell, sometimes organic, at times a chemical odor. It varies. Yeah. And there's lots of stories of how dramatic changes after, you know, hair coloring or people eating certain spices or even fragrances.
Yeah.
And cigarette smokers, you can often tell there's the odor coming into the bath water. Or people that have gone through, you know, chemo or radiation, or that they're on a lot of medications. It can be very, very offensive in the odor, and a lot more in the bath water. So
we don't know what we don't know.
No, and we're not sure how to study that. And you know.
So how do you respond to it when people, you know, just, you know, this is what I've read and it's a scam? What do you say to them?
Well, there will always be critics.
For sure.
Unbelievers out there. And, you know, there's a lot of bad press and stigmas out there on many alternative therapies, not just ours, and rightfully so. marketers and even practitioners haven't properly explained how the process works and how to support it for optimal effectiveness, and
Okay.
very often not completing enough sessions or a lack of follow-up after a cleanse. So and we have to be so careful that we have disclaimers on all of our marketing, on
Yep.
all of our brochures, on every page of our website, that this is not a cure, it's not a diagnosis, and you should check with your doctor. This is not a medical device. This is what I believe everyone can benefit from. And, you know, when we got into this business, Bev didn't drive 2 hours 3 times a week and pay $65 because she enjoyed getting the information, because
Exactly.
she got results.
Exactly.
It was the first time in over 4 years that she said, John, I tried something today and I can't explain it,
Yep.
but I felt so much. I put my feet in this nice, warm, clear water, and after 30 minutes, it was disgustingly dirty. It had an offensive smell, but she felt so different.
She had an
And
experience.
yeah, she had a transformation.
Yep.
And she kept going back because she got results. This isn't for everybody. If you don't believe that it's going to be helpful, you know, you're not a client. You're not interested, because, you know, we tried a lot of things, and we've got hundreds and hundreds of testimonials of people getting results. And that's what we rely on,
Yep.
because of not being able to make any claims. And that's in anything in alternative health. If you're in supplements or essential oils or whatever you're in, you can't make any claims that it's a cure. And it's not a cure. It
Yep.
complements with whatever you're doing. It's going to enhance, it's going to turbocharge that, whatever you're doing. And that's what we want to get out there, that our mission, our passion is to help people, not with their health,
Yep.
not go through all the health struggles and stress that we went through. And that's what the Hyperbath does. It's so simple and easy to use. And when you have your own system, you know, Bev was paying $65 a treatment, driving 2 hours one way 3 times a week. And at that time, the ion cleanse was $4,000 US. We didn't want to spend money, but after 5 months, she spent way more than that on treatments.
Exactly.
And then we still had to buy the machine because we had nothing to show for. When you have our system, your cost per treatment is about $1.50 to $3 per treatment for the replacement arrays, the liners, the
consumables. There's always consumables.
consumables.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I do want to talk about a couple of things John is offering. It's almost Easter. It's spring cleaning time. So I kind of feel guilty because I've got all this chocolate in my cupboard for the children, but I'm about to say we need to talk about internal cleansing as well. So if you do have a Hyperbath system now, just the season to at least get things going again. This is your reminder for those of you that have been on the fence, or, you know, you've tried other things and you're just, you know, looking for a new, simpler approach. This is something that you should check out. John has the personal system with some value added extras. There's almost $300 in savings on the unit itself. And there is also, as John was briefly touching on earlier, enough supplies to probably keep you very busy. As far as, arrays and bath liners, there are some consumable supplies to administer the session itself. And John's kind of been doing this long enough that he's got things tailored to make it even simpler if you are using this in a business. So the unit itself is the same. On John's professional side, there is a professional package. We expect higher volume, you're using more things in a business, but for this year's Easter special, John is including, it's kind of like getting the pro pack, but for the personal price and with a discount and with more stuff. So of course you get John regardless as your support. And if you are a business and you're looking at incorporating this in, whether your business is at home or you've got a bricks and mortars, there's also some additional value. John always includes this. He's the value add guy. So there's some additional marketing and just some other things that might be more appropriate if you are looking at sharing this with other clients, just until you get comfortable. And there's two ways that you can take advantage. Regardless of the special, John also offers a number of different ways that you can get into these treatments now and pay later. So if you're a person, John has a really awesome financing plan. You don't need to pay for 30 days. There's all kinds of reasons to get started today and worry about the rest of that later. But you can check that out on your own through the shopping cart. I'm going to drop a link, but you'll see when you go in to the Hyperbath listing that you'll see there's a little Affirm logo, and you just go through the next couple of steps and you'll get a fairly immediate answer. You do not need to commit to that answer, but if you're maybe I want to, and I just want to see what payments look like, or, if you just want to explore your options, there's absolutely no obligation. There's no fee to apply. It doesn't cost you anything other than about 4 or 5 minutes to complete the application. If you are a business, you can apply certainly and take advantage of some of the really cool options that John's personal financing options offer. You can pay it off anytime, no penalties. But John does also have more structured lease planning. Maybe you're looking at some leaseholds, some educational costs. So if you are a business or you're trying to be a business, or your business is growing and this is a service you feel enhances what you're doing, sometimes as business owners, we're not completely rolling in it. And, you got to be conscious, especially in today's world. So there's lots of ways that John can help you not only structure, the purchase of it, but if you are, like I say, looking for leaseholds or educational costs, he's got a really awesome lease partner that will work with you, because they recognize that your business is as different as your body. There's never two businesses exactly the same, because you guys are all different. So sometimes you need a guy to take a look at what you're dealing with, see what that vision is, and John's the guy to kind of help you put that all together, incorporating what he's offering today.
I'm here to support and help. If you're using it for just yourself, a family, or if you just want to get started, that's how we got started. My wife never in her wildest dreams ever thought that she would do this as a business when she was really down and out and really sick. And but things can change. Things can really be so much better, and that's our passion, to help you get through, whether it's for energy or pain or stress or there's a lot of mental health problems and issues going on.
What the answers are may vary, but if you're watching John and I exchange questions today, you're looking for something, and this may be the something. But again, we can't stress enough, do your own research, whether that's giving John a call. Maybe there's some information you'd like him to send. Maybe money has been a concern and you didn't realize financing was an option. I'm going to leave this with, it is an experience. We can post studies and send reading material all day long, but it is one of those things that's best experienced. And if you've been curious, now's the time to reach out and at least get those questions answered. Thanks again, John. There's a million stories. We could probably do a whole 2 days just on testimonials, and maybe we should talk about that for our next Q&A, our top 3 testimonials that you've experienced. That's maybe not a bad idea.
We have hundreds of those.
We'd have to do a series.
Okay. Thanks, Deb. And
thanks, John. Don't work too hard, and we'll talk again very, very soon.
okay.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks,
have a great night.
Bye-bye.